Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well in this festive period. Just thought I would come on and react to the quite shocking news that Fan Zhendong and Chen Meng, our current Olympic champions, will both be retiring from World Table Tennis. They'll have their names removed from the world rankings imminently, and I think it's a decision from both players that has huge implications, ramifications, consequences for World Table Tennis as we know it. So Fan Zhendong, 27 years old, the current world champion, the current Olympic champion, and seemingly at the peak of his powers. Well, he has cited the reason for his retirement, the WTT's rules that mean that players can actually get fined if they don't compete in enough WTT events. So, Fan Zhendong, he's actually going to continue playing table tennis in Chinese national events, for example, but simply playing on the world tour, or at least being registered with the world tour, in his opinion, is not financially viable. He's going to start losing money soon. Now, when I first heard about this rule about players being fined for not competing in enough tournaments a few months ago, I was surprised that the WTT can actually do this. It's a new story I've been following, particularly with Kadri Aruna's current standoff with WTT that's been going on for several months now. I'm not sure exactly where that's got to at the moment. It may well be in the sports courts. But Kadri Aruna, the pioneer of Nigerian and African table tennis, a stalwart of the world table tennis scene and a fan favourite, he was fined by WTT last year after not competing in two tournaments. One of those tournaments, he did actually get the fine rescinded as it was due to illness. But the other tournament is that fine is still standing, and he's contesting that fine, obviously. But the reason he didn't compete in that second WTT event in Korea was simply that it didn't make financial sense for him. Kadri Aruna, he's got contracts with professional clubs that he needed to fulfill, and prize money at these tournaments and the cost of competing and travelling to them means that players can actually lose the money when they compete in WTT events. It's something that players have been complaining about in the last few years. It's got worse since COVID due to inflation. But Kadri Aruna, I imagine he's got a mortgage to pay, he's got kids to put through school. So the financial stability provided by clubs compared to the uncertainty about how much money he'll make from a WTT event really is a no-brainer for players if they've got that certainty of playing for a club over competing in a tournament far away where they have to travel far from their family as well. So that's time away from home, which, you know, if you've got young kids, can be quite precious time, I imagine. So Kadri Aruna, he has actually reacted to Fan Zhendong's retirement. I'll put a picture of it. I can't remember exactly what he said, but there was lots of smiley face emojis, so you can tell what he thinks about the retirement. Now, when I first heard about players getting fined in the Kadri Aruna situation, I thought this might be something that might keep cropping up, but I thought it might only affect players from lesser table tennis playing nations where the national federations don't put so much money into their players or simply can't, and players from those countries will choose the financial stability of playing for professional clubs. I thought a player from China or Japan, for example, they will get sufficient money from their national federations, which means that even if they do make a loss on a particular WTT event, it's more than compensated by their national federations. So this is why I find this story particularly shocking, as a Chinese player, a top Chinese player, has retired early from world table tennis. Now, the implications of this are not only that the world's going to be missing out on seeing probably the best player in the world competing in WTT events, which weakens the quality of the play that we see. It also means that potentially there's less sponsors from China, less viewers from China, and China really is an integral part of the world table tennis financial ecosystem. Chinese money is incredibly important, and any threat to that really is going to affect WTT, ITTF. It's going to affect them a lot. It's going to potentially weaken the amount of prize money available, again, which it's going to make WTT less attractive to players. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where this goes. I imagine Fan Zhendong might not be the last to make a decision like this prematurely. Hopefully it's something that can get resolved by the ITTF, by WTT. But yeah, pretty serious. I hope it's not the last we've seen of Fan Zhendong. He's such an incredible player. And actually, over the last couple of years, I feel like we've got to know Fan Zhendong, the man, a little bit better. The Fan Zhendong, the Swiftie, the Real Madrid fan. And he seems like a really honest, genuine character. It will be a shame to see Fan Zhendong not competing at future events. For Chen Meng, she's a little bit older, and Chinese women do tend to retire quite early. It will be a shame not to see her at future WTT events. She's had a fantastic career, but perhaps some of the debacle around the reaction of some sections of the Chinese audience after her Olympic gold in Paris maybe has soured her relationship with table tennis. I don't know, but I would love to see both of them back. This probably is a rule that needs looking at, though.